Okay, we'll call the regular Plaza 1006 Corporation meeting at 6:36. We have a quorum. We have board business, discussion and possible action of the following items. A, consent agenda. Item number 1, Plaza 10 minutes, 11/4/25, and number 2, financials for fiscal year 26. We have any motions on that item?
I move that we approve consent agenda items 1 and 2.
I'll second that.
Okay, got a motion by Rick, got a second by Ed. Any discussion on those items? Okay, all in favor? Okay, motion passes unanimous. We will close that meeting at 6:38. So we will move on. We will move on now to the regular city council meeting at 6:38 p.m. We have a quorum for council. We will say the Pledge of Allegiance next. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Okay, we will start with reports from council. Ed Waters.
Nothing to report at this time.
All right, thank you, Ed. Councilman Fisher.
No report tonight.
All right, thank you, Rick. How about Jeff Terrell?
No report tonight, Mayor.
Okay, Councilwoman Susan Baker.
Just want to, I know Chief's not here, but for our officers, just thank them. I've been seeing them around in the parking lots all over the place, including over at Home Depot and Target, and so I think that seems to be helping with some of the issues, it looks like. Hopefully you would tell us. But and just keep Dave in our prayers and thoughts.
All right, thank you, Susan. Mayor Pro Tem Amanda Fenwick.
I don't have any updates.
Okay, leave it all up to me. First off, I want to thank all the council for putting in their applications and re-upping their service to the city and the citizens. I appreciate the job that you guys and ladies have done up until now, and I'm sure you'll continue that service, so thank you very much for that. Boat ramp project. They are in process of installing the cofferdam down there. They've been working pretty hard since they got mobilized on the 20th or 21st, and they're moving right along. So far, I don't think we've had any reports, Julie, of anybody getting in that fence or anybody getting in trouble, so I appreciate the citizens for allowing them to work and staying out of their way. Swimming pool. Swimming pool is nearing the end. They've done a great job over there. It looks 100 times better than it did before. Very impressed with those guys' work. Aside from a few days of rain, they've been over there. I know I had to go over there and lock the gate up at 10 o'clock one night. They were working their rear ends off trying to get that done, so appreciate all the hard work that they've done. I think we made a really good choice in that vendor. Clubhouse. If you notice around here, the clubhouse is getting a major upgrade. We found some roof issues in the back. Rob addressed those. We've got some support issues under here that's going to cost us a little bit more money, but something that's really manageable but very necessary. So we will continue to do that. That's moving kind of slow also because of weather, and we were waiting on an engineer to come and give us some advice. That has now happened, and Rob was moving forward today with that project. Let's see. Marina Bay Harbor expansion over the boat storage over on the other side of Lazy Bend. That project is well underway. They're doing a lot of dirt work over there. I understand they were making some noise pretty late on the weekend. We addressed that with them, and they stopped that right away. But they're moving right along, and everything looks good over there. There was a company or individual that bought the point out there north of that Marina Bay Harbor project. It is not the same project. There's been a mistake that everybody thinks that's the same project. Not everybody. Some people think that's the same project. That's not the same project. That is two different projects going on. There is a company that bought that property that delivers material out to the ships up in the ship channel. I guess they were under the understanding they were going to operate 24 hours a day. That will not be happening. I understand there's been some noise over there and some other things that I talked to Tommy Cones about today. Tommy did go out there. He is our fire marshal, in case you didn't know. He's been over there looking around, making sure they're in line. He issued them a list of things he wanted them to correct after it didn't match what they had on the plan, so they're in the process of correcting that. I believe he's going to go out in the next couple of days, and if those things aren't corrected, he's going to be issuing some citations over there. So those people would be abiding by the ordinances very soon also. I can assure you that I don't think we're going to allow them to operate making that noise 24 hours a day. So I did see some posts on Facebook. Although Lazy Ben is not part of Clear Lake Shores, they have been directed to go to the right entity to complain about that, and then I'm sure it will come back to us along with the Galveston County to enforce whatever we need to enforce over there. But I promise you that's not going to happen 24 hours a day. Moving forward, just so everyone knows and council knows, we were waiting on some information back from the election people in Galveston County. We did not get that in time to put on this agenda, and so that's the purpose of that special meeting, is we need to call the election, and we didn't have the information that we needed. I did reach out to Michael Shannon with the county. He's with the county engineer's office about the Clear Lake Road Bridge, and I am waiting for an update on that. He did not have one yet. They were still in the process of picking and choosing their engineers. So hopefully by this time next week I'll have something, and we'll get Teresa to put something out as soon as we get that information. That is all I have. So we will move on to Police Chief David Donaldson, who is not here, but the lovely Julie Criddle is. You're on.
You're on.
Am I? Okay. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. Chief Donaldson couldn't be here tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know what the stats are for January. There were calls for service, which were calls and officer initiated. The total is 1,089. That's divided up to where business checks were 44% of that. Traffic enforcements were 25%, and residential checks were 13%. The other 15%, those are characterized as miscellaneous. And that's all I have.
All right. Thank you, Julie.
Thank you.
Our city administrator is feeling under the weather, so he's not here, so I have his list to read now. Roads and Drainage met with Collier's Engineering last week to finalize the Narcissus Road project. The base under the existing asphalt will not support a 2-inch deep mill and overlay. We will need to mill at least 4.5 inches to create some sustainable surface. They will be using some fiberglass reinforcement underlayment, which will help improve with cracking and cracking we might experience on our existing asphalt roads. This product is now used on airport runways to reinforce the surface and has been approved by TxDOT for use on highways. We expect to issue a request for proposals in the coming week. He also mentions work has begun on the boat ramp and appreciates everyone respecting the security fencing around the boat ramp. Our 2-time award-winning finance director, and this is not a lie, he wrote this, worked very late, multiple evenings over the last week to submit the current budget to the NFOA. We anticipate receiving recognition again that would make her a 3-time award-winning finance director. No pressure, Cheryl, he says. We had a productive workshop, joint workshop with Council and P&Z last week to discuss amendments to various ordinances that were brought forward. He said he is currently working on incorporating the recommendations from that group and will be submitting them to the city attorney for review in the near future and bring that back for approval. I do believe Planning and Zoning still has to have their meeting to give forth their recommendation also. But I think we got a good grasp on that. that's it. He does have something else, but not till the agenda item comes up.
Mayor, I have a question. We canceled or postponed the joint with EDC and P&Z.
Yes.
That was because of weather. Have we set a new date for
Yes,
that?
we have it. It went out, the 28th is what we're going to go
February?
with. February 28th,
Okay.
yes. Which will be a Saturday, same time, 9 to 11. All right. We will move on to Roads and Drainage Committee reports.
Good evening. I don't really have that much to add to what you had in the notes for Mike, but I can say that worst case scenario, we're looking at roughly 100,000 more for Narcissus if we have to do it the whole length of the road, which this is based on what Geotech came back with after the core samples. That's why it happened. Now, our next project that I want is still going to be Clear Lake Road from Birch to Forest. We want to get that one done before the bridge, so we don't have any issues with the road closures and stuff like that when we already have the bridge out. And then after that, it's going to be most likely Oak. We're looking at Forest, part of Juniper, and Oak, but Oak is probably the worst one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, thank you, Thomas. Next up would be Parks Committee.
Mary couldn't be here tonight, but she said there was nothing to report, and right now, looks like there's not going to be a meeting for February. They're going to be looking to maybe do the meetings on a different evening in the future, just from conflict of schedules.
Okay, thank you, Rick. Waterfront Compliance.
We don't have a walk yet scheduled. Should be scheduled on one sometime in March.
Okay. Thank you, Ed. Planning and Zoning.
Yes, we have an upcoming meeting on Tuesday the 9th to review property, and I was looking for the email, and I can't find it right now. I'd give you the address, but we're planning to have a meeting 6 o'clock. No, Tuesday. Thought it was Tuesday the 9th. Is it Monday the 9th? Monday's the 9th. Monday, okay. What, the 9th.
Okay, thank you. The ZBOA, Zoning Board of Adjustments. Anyone here from there? All right, moving on to Economic Development.
Yeah, with the help of Cheryl, we are monitoring our financials very closely, to be sure we have the cash flow and what we need to do as far as the boat ramp. We're going to be in a cash squeeze, but, it's all taken care of. Our next meeting is Tuesday the 10th at 6:30, and ahead of it at 5:30, we're going to have a workshop talking about business outreach, talking about how we can attract more business, how we can take care of what we have, and, do some brainstorming about that part. So please feel free to meet up.
All right, thank you, Thomas. Civic Club report.
Good evening. We have 2 events this month, actually 3 counting our meeting on Thursday. So we have a meeting at 6:30 here at the clubhouse on Thursday. And then on the 14th, we have our biggest fundraiser of the year. It's the Gumbo Cook-Off Mardi Gras Parade, and everything seems to be going well. I think we have 1 spot open on the teams. That's it. I've made arrangements with skippers to rent their parking lot so we don't get in any trouble over there. We'll pay them, to rent that. But Georgette's done a really good job as usual. And then a big shout out to Trish Scarborough. I really tried to schedule man cakes. I just wasn't having any luck with getting this place. And she gave me a call and said, "Look, we want to have this event. It's been going on for 20 years, and so." She made a bunch of phone calls, and we're going to do it on the 21st, so it'll be the week after the 14th, and 8:30 to 11 up here. And big thanks to her for not letting that thing die this year. Other than that, that's all I got.
All right. Thank you, Bruce. Okay, move on to public comments. At this time, any person with city-related business may speak to the city council. If the topic of discussion is related to an item on the agenda, the comments may be made now or at the time the agenda item is discussed. If the topic of discussion is not related to an item on the agenda, city council cannot deliberate or take any action at this time. Comments from the public should be limited to a maximum of 3 minutes per individual. No yielding of time is permitted. Would anyone like to address city council?
Yeah, I would. I'm Sylvia Abear. I'm the chair of the library committee. And we've got a situation that I don't know if you guys know about, but we have a group of kids that are coming to the library, throwing things around. Last night, there was a nanny there with 2 little kids, and they were throwing stuff, and she asked them to stop. She said, please be careful that, there's a little child in here, and they continued to do it until they hit the kid with the pillow in the head. And the nanny stood up and said, enough. This is not a playground, this is a library. So we've had trouble with these 3. 2 of them live on Oak. I don't know who the other kid is. I think Mary does know because she's fussed at them before. And I don't know what the solution is, but I know that being open 24 hours and everybody having access to this little climate control piece of heaven here is important. So I just want to bring it before you. We can ask maybe about the video. If it was just last night when the second incident happened. But we were told told each other as a library committee to watch for the bikes outside. That was our signal to go in and check the library. And people did that a couple times and, everything was all right. And then they started putting their bikes on the inside of the library so that if you drive by, you can't see them. So, like I said, I don't know what the answer is, but it's a problem. And I think usually if it starts out kind of small in a neighborhood, it gets to be a bigger problem. So I'd like for us to do something both for the library and for our city.
Okay.
That's
Julie,
it.
you're taking notes?
I'm sorry?
Julie, you're taking notes? Okay.
Can I suggest one thing? Do you mind going to the PD and reporting that to the PD so they can look at those videos and see if they can identify those individuals?
Okay, I think we didn't know what
Yeah.
to do.
Just go to the PD. More likely you'll be getting with Julie there anyway, and
Okay.
she can file that report, and then they'll follow up on that.
Okay. Yeah, I know the last group of boys that we had, one mama told the truth, and they came forward, and they made them all clean up the library, and that was it. But this is a different group, I think.
Okay.
That should always be your first recourse is
Okay.
go, because there is video there, and that does need to be addressed
Okay.
when it happens or as soon
Okay.
thereafter, yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate you
You're
listening.
welcome. Thank you. Would anyone else like to address the City Council? Having none, we'll move on and close the public comments and go to item number 9, consent agenda, check register 12/29/2025 through 1/28/26, and B, council meeting minutes 1/6/26. Do we have any items we'd like to pull from there or any motions on that item?
I'll move to approve consent agenda as presented.
Okay,
I'll second.
got a motion by Amanda, got a second by Jeff. Any discussion on those items? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes unanimous. Moving on to item 10, new business. Discussion and possible action may be taken on the following items. Consideration and possible action to approve one city council meeting a month to be held on the first Tuesday of the month. City council to review each quarter to extend the schedule. So I brought this forward only because, as you can see, our agenda is not huge. Mike is taking care of a lot of things that we're supposed to be taken care of, so there's not a whole lot of things on the agenda. And being respectful of people's time, I wanted to make sure we were using everybody's time wisely. We had talked about this in the past. We had brought up the fact that if we needed to have a special meeting, we could. The one thing to keep in mind about a special meeting is you have to have 4 council people present in a special meeting, physically present. In a regular meeting, it only takes 3 to do business. That's my proposal to the council. So I don't know if we have any motions or anyone want to make a motion to discuss that item. Any questions? But that's pretty much why I brought it forward.
So I do want to discuss, so I'll make a motion to discuss
Okay?
item A.
I'll second it.
Okay, got a motion by Amanda, got a second by Rick.
So I appreciate the effort to be mindful of our time, but we signed up for this, and this is also our citizens and residents' time to do exactly what Ms. Abear just did and have an opportunity to speak in front of council. And so I would rather come up here for 15 or 30 minutes and have a meeting and allow our residents to speak to us and us to take care of whatever business we have to take care of, than not have that opportunity and then have to worry about having a supermajority for a special meeting and so on and so forth. So that's my 2
Understand.
cents.
Any other comments?
Yeah, and I'm kind of along the lines with Amanda. I mean, once a month, we may not get the whole picture about what's going on. I mean, you have residents that ask you questions, and if we don't know what's going on in the city, this gives us time to kind of get stuff out and hear what's going on. I'm not opposed to the one a month, but that's just one concern I had
No,
with that.
it's a good concern.
I agree. I think it's a good time to get together and see if anybody has anything they need to bring up to us. So it's not that long. I mean, if we spend an hour extra a month, I'm good with that.
Okay. Anyone else? Would you like to amend your motion?
Well, or we just let it die, right, Christy?
Well, we just have a motion to discuss right now.
Right, we just had a motion to discuss. So do we need to make,
You need to make a motion to approve,
Or disapprove.
or you can make the motion to approve, and then you
Vote
can
it down.
the vote or don't vote and it dies.
but we still need a motion on
Yeah,
the item.
you don't need a motion on the item, other than-
We need an action motion of some sort,
Yeah.
not just a discussion.
But it has to be what's here.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll make a motion that we consider to approve one council meeting a month to be held on the first Tuesday of the month.
Okay, we have a motion by Amanda. Got a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, we got a second by Ed. Okay, all in favor? Okay, all opposed? Okay, unanimously opposed? All right, we'll move on. Just to make it clear, I wasn't trying to cheat anyone from having their time with council. That was not what I was trying to do. We'll move on to item B, consideration and possible action to cancel the second council meeting in February. I would like to pull that item exactly now that we're going to do this. So if you guys would allow me to do that, that's what I'd like to do. And we will move on to item C, consideration of possible action to approve authorizing the city administrator to enter into a contractual agreement for an amount not to exceed $25,000 annually with the city of Seabrook for animal control services. So Mike's not here. I will, if we have a motion first, I'll explain all of that to you guys.
I make a motion that we approve authorizing the city administrator to enter into a contractual agreement for an amount not to exceed $25,000 annually with the city of Seabrook Animal Control Services.
Okay, we got a motion by Ed,
I'll second the motion.
got a second by Susan. Just a brief on this. So we've been looking at this pretty hard. Galveston County wants to charge a substantial amount of money. We've looked at our past history. I think for the last 3 years, we've submitted one animal to animal control. And so when they break down the numbers, we're paying quite a bit of money for a service that we're not using very often. So Mike went outside the box and decided to find out legally if we could go to a different surrounding city. So he got that okay and went to Seabrook. And I don't think he put it in here. He and I discussed it because he got some figures late, and so this was already on the agenda. But it's not going to be half of that. I want to say it's going to be around $8,000. And that gives us a certain amount of animals, so to speak. And then anything after that will be charged per animal, and based on our usage so far, it's going to probably be the $8,000 or less. That's why this is on the agenda. We could pay the Galveston County, but it's an exorbitant amount of money to pay them to do something that we don't really use them for.
Do you know what we're paying them, Cheryl? Do you remember? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what this year's was going to be, is 25,000.
Yeah. Yeah. That ROI that math doesn't math well.
Yeah. No, they weren't.
I mean, I don't know exactly where their facility is at. You know, have we looked at it? What have we looked at as far as,
In Seabrook?
yeah.
So that facility is down,
Or did they move it?
golly, it's off of Red Bluff, actually. Where
Okay,
Red
so
Bluff
they moved
crosses
it.
over 146, it winds back in there. They have a fairly new
It's
facility
new,
that they
yeah.
built back there with their building department several years back.
I used to live there before I moved here, and it's really good outfit.
It's a nice facility.
Yeah, they have a nice truck, and they drive around and, look for stray animals and stuff. They're really good.
So it actually may be a little close. I don't know where the county one was either.
I think the county one's down in Texas City, maybe?
So, okay. So it's reasonably close in case somebody,
It is closer,
gets
response
picked up.
time is probably quicker.
yep,
Um,
that's good, yeah.
I think a lot of it has to do with, okay, if you get an animal picked up, it's pretty close for you to go pick it up. They're pretty good and knowledgeable at what they do. Response time, in case we need someone to come and deal with something, is pretty close also. And the dollars are quite a bit less. And they already have a pretty new facility, so they're not going to be wanting us to help pay for a new facility anytime soon.
Which was the other thing with the county.
And I get it. I get it. You got to split it up, because when they need stuff, the ones that are using them have to pay for it. But that's a lot of money for our city to pay, comparatively speaking to other entities that use that service quite a bit. And it should have really been proportional, in my opinion, to that use. And like he said, they're not negotiable. So we reached out and went a different direction. That's what we're bringing forward. So we have a motion on the table. Do we have any more discussion? Okay, all in favor? Okay, motion passes unanimous. We will adjourn the meeting at 7:04.